does not fuck smash my door.
Come on, Charles, don't do this.
Is that a bad word?
Christian Aguilera, hi. The X at the end.
You fucking look like rock stars, huh? And now we are a fucking bunch of wanko.
Michael, this is Toto. Can I just send you an email? No, Michael, that was so not right. Sorry? We went car racing.
I know what we should do. We should do, you know, like boy bands, when they go round and they say one word each, and then they all say it together. Should we try to do that?
We could try.
Ready? Let's go from Brad to Ben to me.
Welcome. Yeah, then you go.
Ben?
No, so it goes you and then...
Brad to Boyd to Ben,
Ben.
you said.
Pay
You just
attention,
said
yeah?
Brad to Boyd to Ben.
Brad, Ben, Boyd. Ready?
All right, okay.
Welcome.
2.
The 3 pre.
No, fucked it. It's one word each.
It's just going to be all fucking day.
Go. Welcome.
2.
The
3.
Pre.
talk.
No, so what?
You're getting it wrong.
Right, welcome to the 3 Pre podcast. This is Brad, Ben, and Boyd.
Yeah, that's better. Not easy.
That was really good. You know when you did it and you did it all right? That was really good.
It was like the Budweiser advert.
That's it.
We're back, though. We're back. For your listeners.
For any of our viewers who are not 35 or older, that was an advert when we were younger.
Oh, a little jab. Yeah, exactly that. Oi, boys, a little bit of news, though. I was out on Thursday promoting as always. And my mate,
out on the piss.
I'm going to name drop him. Rich come up to me and he went, "Boydie, when's the next episode out?" I was like,
Friend
he
of
goes,
the pod.
"You've had a break." Yeah, I was like, "We've had a bit of a break, mate, because Brad and a couple of people away and there wasn't a race, so he's well up for it." I went, "Did you listen to the one where it was just the two of them?" And then just I came back and yeah. So he still liked it. So thank you very much, Rich.
Yeah, I had someone today
taking
say
it
what happened. Like they literally, as soon as the Grand Prix finished yesterday, they went straight on Spotify like it was the news, and they were instantly going to get it. I was like, well, it was quite late, and we just didn't do it. So he was all disappointed. That's Lewis, friend of the pod. He loves it when I say that.
Thanks,
Friends of the pod.
What do we do without you?
Baz was really excited that there's going to be another episode, and he left early, so he didn't
Mate,
hear
just
it.
because me and Boyd name drops, you don't need to like.
No,
Yeah.
I'm going to have to.
He did, didn't he? He was like,
Baz.
I've got
I had
friends.
to let Baz know.
I've got
'cause
friends
he's
too.
left early because he didn't want to hear it before. He wanted to wait. And
Brad
hear
Andrew
it.
Salmon's waiting for the next one to go on.
I'm Mumra.
Ben, your mic's a bit low. I can't hear you that well.
Is it?
Yeah, a little bit.
Just turn it up then.
Tweak it. Give it a little tweak.
So before we start and get straight into news, I am going to make a little confession. To say my coverage of the Formula One this weekend was minimal would be somewhat of an understatement. I didn't watch any of it, but I did watch the highlights for the Grand Prix on the train this morning, and then watched the qualifiers a minute ago. So I have sort of seen it, but it was all in weird orders because I went to see Frozen the musical yesterday.
Wow.
Which was unreal.
Did you let it go?
I did.
Let it go.
I was fully into it. I knew I was going to sort of think it was all right because my kids watched it when they're younger, so I knew the songs. But literally, as soon as it came on, the full Disney experience just overtook my body, and I was just like, "This is one of the best things I've ever seen in my life. Like better than
anything Disney's.
And I was just like, "It's
got
amazing." And my kids were like, "Yeah, it was all right." Vicky was crying. I actually thought, right? I actually was worried for her health because I thought her emotions are going to be so high because of the nostalgia of when the kids were younger and the songs, and I just thought she'd just burst and have like a heart attack or something, so I was quite worried about her. And then because of that, I got home and then I just couldn't be asked to watch the Grand Prix, so I did.
Well, I thought it was a good one, to be fair. It was quite like high speed. There was quite a bit of carnage, wasn't there, Ben?
Exciting, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
This doesn't jump straight ahead to the race though, because there is rules. There is a plan.
There is the procedure. The
There is a
news
procedure.
from Ben.
We've got
then
some news.
there is
There's
the
some news.
game from Brad, and then the debate.
Yeah, so we like to keep it.
Got a
we
good
got
game
all three.
today.
We got all three locked and loaded, have we?
Unlike Red Bull, we like to stick to the regulations, right?
Whoa.
Yeah, but I'm going to give you a little taster for the game just to build some suspense. So I know that some people might drop off halfway through the podcast. I think this would be good because the game does come at the end.
People drop off.
One of our most popular games was when we got invited into Christian Horner's house.
Oh yeah, that was the best game. That was
It
my favourite game.
But this week we'll be visiting somebody else's home.
Wow.
Won't say
Keith
who
Lemon.
it is. No.
No, that is nothing to do with Formula One.
I've got one thing to do with cars, though, boy. Just picked up the car from its MOT. Passed. Just saying.
That's
54
nice.
quid. Another year's worth of motoring for 50 quid. Happy fucking days. So,
And what? And that's a track car you've got there.
Yeah, well, we said it passed. I said I wasn't surprised, he goes, but you have gone over the limits. I was like, shit, sorry, mate. I'm putting too many PU units in there and cheating, really. That's why it passes MOT every time.
Spent too much.
It's a Red Bull car, yeah.
Spent too much on his Mini.
Yeah, exactly. So
This air freshener, how much was that? That was £3. Throw it out.
went over, yeah.
Speaking of spending too much money, Red Bull maintains that it did not intend to breach the regulations. Of course, he's going to say that. They're going to say,
Lies.
"Oh, we didn't mean to." They said that they failed to claim an R&D tax rebate, a sick pay for one employee, and the catering costs for employees are not covered by the cap, but has been included in their thing. So that's what they reckon.
How much did they go over again?
Mate, that can't. That's
1.4 million. Yeah.
So
How much is
Catering-
catering's involved in the budget?
Catering, R&D tax rebate, and a sick pay for one.
Can you
employee.
imagine everyone comes in, they go, yeah, is it the salmon rolls again? Afraid not. Macca's. Everyone's getting Macca's because Perez has got a new power unit.
And the geezer was off sick. What salary is he on? Fucking hell, he's earning a lot more than me. Like, he's on $500,000 a year.
I was saying that how
Calling
much. I was thinking, how much faster are Red Bull on the straights? They're $1.4 million faster on the straights.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. 1.5 mil comes out the exhaust, and no one else can see it.
You can see it. But McLaren boss Zach Brown wrote a letter. It's such an American thing to do. He said that any breach of the F1's budget cap constitutes cheating. So I don't know if it does constitute cheating. If they seem to have very good excuses. I think that R&D tax rebate. I get loads of Instagram sponsored ads about claiming my R&D tax rebate. So, and I've not done it. Neither have Red Bull. So maybe HMRC need to improve that. But yeah, and then our favourite, Mr. Rich Energy himself, William H. Story, the Scarlet Von Bad guy I've written here when I wrote this thing. He's weighed in on the Red Bull price cap.
Oh, yeah, because when we want an opinion, that's who we go to, a guy that's got an energy drink that isn't available anywhere.
Yeah, and also has a lot of money issues himself. So
Yeah, he's well equipped to answer this question.
He said it is sad to see such a great sport brought into disrepute. The FIA need to realise that teams making a mockery of the sport regulations is damaging their credibility. The mood music among hundreds of millions of fans has changed. They should listen. Hashtag F1 National Doping.
What a tit. See, what the thing is with that, the reason why he's weighing in is because if he had an F1 team, there's no way he could overspend because he hasn't got any money. So he's like one of those people that don't have enough money, and then they criticise people who have like nice cars and go, oh, you should just give that money to charity and not spend all the money in the car. I go, how much of your money did you give to charity this month? Oh, nothing.
No. He then did another tweet with a picture of his of the Rich Energy Haas that lasted 3 races. Mm-hmm. Winning fairly since 2015, premium British performance. Hashtag Rich Energy. Never won. Never won.
That's such a weird thing to say. We do sort of live in a world now where I think there used to be, before the internet, we had this thing where you'd have like a dinner party or people would just talk bollocks, right? And then other people go, well, that bollocks sort of sounds real. So there's, like, and I have no way of checking it. And then the internet came out and everyone was like, well, I can check every single thing you've said. So you couldn't have an argument anymore because the facts were on your phone. I like those days. Now we've gone into, you can say anything you want, even if it is easily proved wrong by your phone. And you just go, yeah, but I said it. That's who he is. He just goes winning. So no one even never won. Yeah, but we say it, and some people won't check it.
Since
which is
2015,
enough.
they had an F1 car for 3 races in 2019. Was it 2018 or 2019?
Maybe that was when he formed the number 1 energy drink, Rich Energy Drinks. Sorry,
did you see that? They only got
Red
fined
Bull's-
100 grand.
Who did?
Red Bull
For what?
for the going over.
Is that it?
100 grand.
No,
100 grand.
there's
No,
more to
because
come. I
they
think.
interviewed Toto and he said, well, if that's the case, then we're going to overspend and put loads of quality things on our car. And he goes, I'll personally pay the 100 grand myself.
Of course he will.
That's what he said. Pocket change to him.
It is.
He
You should see inside his house.
My
Billionaire, here we go.
two biggest loves are motor racing and finance.
We want George to push, and the good news is you get to drive for Mercedes, but the bad news is you have to race against Lewis Hamilton.
I thought, just a little prediction. Hamilton's making a comeback next year.
I think he is, He's up for it.
I think he had his shit start to the year, which basically fucked him, didn't it? But
He's
actually,
found his mojo a bit again.
Well, no, he
he's
said that
he's driving really well. So I think going into next year,
he
That's if he
said
don't retire.
that he has done.
No,
he
he
has
won't.
been the test. They've let George just race the car as it was last year, as much as it could be, and he's done all the tests. He's been the guinea pig throughout this whole season.
when they test driving into science,
Yeah.
can you just test driving into the side of someone, please?
Yeah.
Can you test complaining about pigeons, please?
They let George do the driving into science test this week, didn't they? So,
Oh, I thought that's what you mean. George was doing the testing, or you said
No.
Hamilton's doing the testing?
Hamilton's been doing testing all season to get the car ready for next year.
Right.
And they've just let George have the car as is. And so, but like, I don't know if you saw in FP1, Lewis had all like that Meccano on the back of his car, and that's like aero testing, and he's got all that on there, so he's doing all that. So that's his excuse for being shit this season.
Okay.
Speaking of shit this season, Williams boss Capito says that Logan Sargent will race for Williams in 2023 if he secures his super license.
Love the name Logan.
Logan Sargent. What an American name is that? That's such an American name.
I've never even seen the guy and know exactly what he looks like.
An American.
I could pick him out of a crowd just with that name.
Mate, I know I bring it up every single time and it don't ever get boring, but Latifi again yesterday, mate.
Yeah, I've got a thing.
It's just literally, he was
It is mad,
17
isn't
at
it?
one point. I looked, but there was 2 DNFs or someone had. I was just like,
he
signed it. I was like,
span out. Like, he just went. They went. Oh, someone spun out. There's the yellow flags. Oh, it's Latifi.
Is it
And then they just
Albon? Is
moved
it
on.
Albon?
They
No,
just
it's
moved on.
Latifi. It's a fucking
There's
joke,
some
mate.
yellow flags at turn 16. Ah, it's Latifi. Just carry on. It's not,
They
you've
should
not got in
change.
anyone's way.
You know, on the car they've got that like Duracell battery. It looks pony as fuck. I need to change that for something for Latifi, like just a shitty one, like a Tesco Zone battery or
Value.
something. Shit.
And that was the only last bit of news. Well, there's 2 more bits of news. Red Bull claims its first F1 constructors title since 2013 and dedicates it to Dietrich Mateschitz, who was the guy who started the Red Bull racing team.
Yeah.
He
Passed
died
away.
this weekend.
Did he?
Oh, it's not. You said passed away. How lovely.
Did I say passed away?
I had popped his clogs.
Yeah. He's boxed up. He's box in the ground.
Yeah.
Box.
His power unit went.
Box.
Actually, I shouldn't say joke. This is actually going to go out. I'm not joking about dead people.
Yeah, but sorry, I've only got.
People don't really
150
listen. They
listeners.
don't really listen, do they? They skip past
No.
it.
It's, yeah,
Yeah,
it's fine.
I'll say something a lot harsher later, just so people forget about it for you, mate. I'll
Yeah, so
cancel
we're going to get
myself.
cancelled. It'll be what Ben said.
Yeah. And then the FIA has labelled Pierre Gasly reckless at Suzuka after investigation into the safety car incident with the tractor on the track. Without undermining responsibilities regarding safety on track, we must also consider, as detailed above, that Gasly drove in a reckless manner by not respecting the flags, therefore ignoring the basic safety rules. Yeah, so if he hadn't kicked off about the tractor, going, oh, this fucking crazy, it's stupid, he wouldn't have been caught out for driving 200 miles per hour under a safety car, where he should have been doing 80 miles an hour. That's quite reckless.
That is pretty bad.
That's really bad. So if he just shut up.
What a little pre. What a grade A little pre. Gasly.
Yeah.
Pierre Gasly.
Guys,
Pierre
Gasly.
Gasly. And then the last bit of news is Albon's hair. He looks like Bart Simpson.
Albon's hair, yeah. I'll tell you what,
Well,
Sainz's
spiking
hair is
them
getting
up.
a bit of volume as well lately.
Mate,
isn't he?
I've got to
Old
say,
Sainz.
sorry, I'll get to my notes. Right, I've got limited notes. Of the 6 bits of notes I've got, is how fucking mentally hairy are Carlos Sainz's arms.
So hairy.
Have you seen how hairy his arms? I thought he had a jumper on.
But
It's
also
so mad.
completely hairless, and the rest of his body on his
What?
on his Instagram, like when he's got his shirt off and like posing and like doing all the surfing
You've been like
stuff.
looking at him, who's top.
Hairless.
No,
Well,
I
because
saw-
I was looking at his arms,
Yeah,
going,
what's
they're
going on, Ben?
mental.
Ben's got a poster of him.
I watched them do. I feel like they copied the podcast because they were doing F1 games, but I'm going to let them off that. And actually, they were doing F1 games with real Ferraris. It was kind of cool. Yeah, Carlos and Charles Leclerc, who I heard someone called Chuck LeCluck, which I really
Chuck LeCluck.
Chuck LeCluck.
We've got it. That's ours now.
That's what he would be if he was in Austin, Texas, which he was, Chuck LeCluck. And then Carlos had like a Ferrari T-shirt on, so like the one you got on, Boyd, but probably better. And his arm hair was so long that it wasn't even a consistent texture. It was like some, like if you just let your hair grow, like bits of it would be long and some of it would be short. He just had like clumps. Like if you left it, it would go into dreadlocks. It was insane. So the fact you're saying he's got a hairless body,
Yeah.
it's like what is this? What is that? A werewolf?
He's just like big on the old arm hair. He's like, I want
to see.
take all the lift all the hair off me, leave my arms like
Where is he from?
His impression.
Where is he from? Mate, I'll be honest.
Take all the hair off of my body.
I did
but
feel
leave
for
my
him,
arm
though.
like Yampa.
Nothing like him.
Leave my arms like a Yampa.
Is it a new driver on the grid? Mate, I did feel sorry for him, though, mate. That
He's from
It's Sonoda, wasn't it?
whole position, mate, fucking found round the first big
Oh,
gate
yeah,
out.
so- didn't he?
let's get into the race. Let's get into the race then. Yeah, science.
Hold on, I might have some more notes on qualifiers. Let me just check. One bit of news about the qualifiers. Pharrell's sunglasses. Did you see
I
them?
didn't watch the qualifiers.
They were so nuts. Like, when he's a pre, Pharrell. He's an absolute pre, and he looked like a pre in those glasses. He literally had these glasses on that were so small. I'm not sure he could even see through them. They were like little black dots, and then round the edge was just big diamonds, like gold.
Oh, I see him now.
It's just like
prick.
what a pre. And at what point when you did he pick those up and go, they're good, or did he just pick them up and go, I don't know what's good anymore because no one ever criticises me for anything.
I can do what I want.
Yeah, and he's just, I put some on and people go, oh, they are really good. They were so bad. It looked like they were homemade.
Did you see, I felt a bit sorry for him as well, did you see how Brundle get pied by Brad Pitt?
Did he?
Man.
He goes, Brad, just a minute. He goes, yeah, man. Just like shot, absolutely pied him. Then Ed
I feel
Sheeran
bad for
doesn't
Brundle
mate.
because Brundle's a fucking legend.
I feel sorry for Brundle. He just
And
runs
they're
around like
these
he's like.
knobheads that like. And I know I'm going to see the irony right now. It's that these knobheads that just got into F1 walking up and down the pit lane.
Not true fans.
Mugging off Brundle.
Like me, who didn't even watch the Grand Prix.
I watched the highlights.
I feel sorry for him
this
walking
morning
down
'cause I
that
was
pit
working.
lane. It's like a fucking computer game, like Donkey Kong or something. He's just got to like find who he can talk to, can't he? Like worm in.
Yeah.
He goes, Fernando, have we got eye contact? I think he's up for a chat, and they see him and they just like look and they just they look over and he goes, I think they're up for it, and then they just deliberately ignore him and they know he's there. I feel a bit sorry. for him,
Alonso's always pretty good at talking to Brundle. I find.
Yeah, he's right.
Like, he's
Too
pretty
bad.
nice to people because he's like
Do you-
maybe Brundle's got a fit wife.
Do you know, I won't say who the name, but Brundle reminds me of one of our mates, a little mate, who's not really sort of our mate, who's a bit of a pain in the bum when you
Oh,
go
no,
out.
his mate is
You know,
I know exactly what you mean.
It's Ash, is what I'm talking about. So you know, like, when
Don't
Ash,
give him a shout out.
when Ash goes around talking to everyone, and everyone's going, for fuck's
Yeah,
sake." And it's my turn, is it, to talk to him? And then they sort of push him on to other people. That's Brundle on the what do they call it? With the
grid.
The pit lane.
The grid, yeah. Just no one wants to talk to him. I think he is sort of a
He's a legend.
big deal. Like, why are you mugging him off?
Yeah.
That's
Mate,
probably
to
why
be fair,
Pharrell was
could you
he
imagine?
couldn't make eye contact.
Could you imagine Ash actually doing that though down the pit lane? Like actually, that's his job. He's off his tits, licking his lips, going, "Oi, Brad, that's a quick chat." Ash, I can't talk right now. Fuck off.
Worst car, mate.
Yeah. Oh. Just a little gremlin down
into
the grid.
into the race. Are we into the race now? Or we've got more qualifying.
Nah, we're off the grid now. We are
let me
into
just
the race.
check. No, I have got some bits of information before we go into the race because I watched the pre-show but then didn't watch the race, so I have to cover that. Which
You have done this
special
backwards,
exclusive. I just want to say that Zach Brown driving with Andretti was amazing. The race car driver that he promised that he could drive a new Formula One car back in Miami, and the guy was like, "Yeah, I'd love to drive one of the new cars." And Zach Brown was like, "Yeah, we'll make it happen." And I thought about it a couple of times since then. Like, I wonder if they did it, and then they showed them driving. 82 years old, he was thrashing the shit out of that car, and I was like I had a thing a few years ago where I was skiing, snowboarding, and I saw these old people on the gondola, and they were skiing and they were drinking whiskey, and I remember thinking then, that's amazing. I want to be 80. That's the 80 I want to be. But seeing him drive around the track at 82, he was absolutely smashing it. And Zach was driving with him.
Wow.
Zach in a Formula One car. They wedged him in They forced him in, like got him in, and then like you know, like you put
He's
like,
still
blood
in it
of a
now.
balloon inside. So he had to sort of like breathe in, and they put him in, and he just went. And he filled out
built
the
it
car, and
around
he was smashing it. And apparently that Andretti is actually starting an F1 team. They reckon might be starting in 2024.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, that's my Zach Brown also driving was funny. I'm just looking at my notes. Chuck LeCluck covered.
Chuck LeCluck.
You know, Lando and
Lando.
Pharrell's glasses and Carlos's arms. That's me out. That's all the information I got.
Wow.
Over to Ben.
The race started with Carlos Sainz on pole position for the third time, I think, this season.
Worst start. He got a terrible start. It was awful.
Well,
He
the way
didn't, he didn't
crashed.
pull away very
He
well.
didn't pull away quick enough, and then
And he got to the first corner, and then George Russell just wiped him out. Just drove straight
Russell was
into
like,
the
he
side of him.
totally cut across me.
So yeah, he was on the racing line, mate. You
It
were
was
in the
like
wrong.
pigeons.
Surprised
He got
Russell
a
didn't give
5
himself
second
credit
pull.
after he broke his car. Did you see that? Not bad, that.
I'd love to hear what Russell's radio was, because I didn't hear it because it wasn't on the highlights. Sainz is a maniac. He just turned in on me.
You can't be doing that. It's so dangerous. They all do that, don't they? It's so dangerous. So dangerous.
Then Latifi span off.
Yeah. fucking
Not
what's
long
the
after
guy?
that, Latifi left the race.
Yeah. Well, I actually was shocked. If they'd turned around and I went, "Is that Albon?" I saw him flicking over the stones. I was like, "Shit, Albon's made a mistake." They went, "No, it's Latifi."
It's
I went, "Right,
Latifi."
fair enough."
But surely it's not cost effective for them to even send him out.
We say it every week.
There's no upside because he's definitely. I think my mic might be peaking. I'm just going to turn it down a little bit in case that is. The only upside, there's no upside. He's only going to crash and damage a car. He's not going to get points, and you've got to pay for him to fly there. You've got to feed it.
Yeah.
You got to do all this stuff. I just go, oh, we're not doing Grand Prix this weekend, and you go, what? It's not on. You go, no.
Yeah.
Did you
That's
put one of the
come, mate.
mechanics out? Just send a mechanic out. I bet it's better.
Mate, Zach Brown.
Yeah.
Well, that Andretti guy, get him in there.
Or-
the oldest person not to get
A
points.
bit like we spoke about the other week. Just turn that F1 car into a large, full-sized petrol remote control car. Let Latifi sit in it, and then someone can control it from the pit lane. You can just at least pretend he's doing a bit better, can't he? Okay,
This is brilliant. I'm so good.
He hasn't moved his arms, but he's going well. He's going well.
My mate told me that he used to take his kid on the DLR. For our American listeners, that's the Docklands Light Railway, where there's no driver.
Drag reduction,
and
mate.
he used to stick the, you know, those toy steering wheels.
Oh,
He used
yeah.
to stick it at the front. The kid used to sit there like thinking it was driving the train. That's Latifi.
Yeah, that's basically him, mate. It's ridiculous.
Just pop that thing on.
Yeah, lie to Latifi.
Then there was another big crash. Alonso crashed into Lance.
What, doing his little wheelie? He fucking done like a little wheelie.
He did a proper wheelie.
That was, and you could, when he came on the radio, he was kind of like, you hear in Alonso's voice, like he was proper shaky.
Thing
Like,
is, though, I don't know how the car survived that, and then he got in and he somehow finished. Oh, did you see? He actually finished P7, but actually finished P15.
P15, yeah, which we'll get to.
Right,
He
okay.
dropped because
Calm
his
down,
car was
boys.
just absolutely, yeah, it was dangerous. Like his wing mirror flew off and hit Kevin Magnussen.
Yeah, K-Mag.
I've got a feeling that Lawrence Stroll, that Alonso was like, Lawrence said, take out Vettel, but he's taken out Lance by accident. I reckon that's
Vettel
what's
at one point when he was in the lead, I was like, he can't hold this. He had to come in. He dropped down to about 30.
No, he did only because of the bad pit stop. It was an 11.1 second pit stop or something like that. And he would have come back out at P4 if he'd come
Would
out.
he?
Yeah, he probably would have been on podium.
To be fair, Lance Stroll, apart from that crash, he was driving all right again yesterday.
We say it every week. Lance Stroll's a good driver. He's just a bit of a.
I was
bit of a weasel.
expecting though, you know, when Alonso hit him and he spun out and they like come on the radio, I was expecting him to have like a Stroll meltdown, like go, "What's he doing, man?" or something like that. But he just went, "I crashed." And that was it.
But yeah, what I have noticed, and this is that Lance Stroll actually looks like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
It's
he
the
does.
teeth, isn't it?
He's got the teeth.
Yeah,
Hey, Donny.
That's the thing. When people get their teeth done like that, they keep them the same length, so they're like the same length all the way around. Unlike me, who had it done properly.
I remember sitting in a waiting room where you got your teeth done actually in Dubai.
What, you went and waited for him to have his fucking lashes done?
You know, Brad, nothing can interrupt his appointments of the day.
No, no, it's
We're
great.
going to
I'll
get
see you
Shake
in a
Shack in a
week.
minute, but first.
The funniest thing about that, right? I don't even mind telling this story because it's a bit cringe, but it's funny. When I had my teeth done, let's be honest, I had a pretty fucking cool car, right? So
I know about this story. You told me.
And so they had valet parking at the dentist, right? So I had a McLaren C650 something, or I can't even fucking remember. But anyway, it's really nice. So parked it in the valet parking. And then when I had the teeth done, they'd say they file them down, right? So I had imagined in my head that when they file them down, they file them down into like precision spikes, like it's like laser technology, right? So, and it hurt when they put the temporary ones on. It fucking hurt, right? So, and on the day where I was having the proper ones fitted, I said to Dennis, "Don't worry about it.
Dennis.
I just won't have them put on because I've got to drive somewhere else to have the teeth fitted." It was like just around the corner. So I got out the front and I've got no teeth apart from little stubs that I think look like fucking spikes. They don't, right? And my car comes around, the valet brings the car around, the guy next to me goes, "That's a really cool car." And I went, "Cheers, mate." Right? And as I said it, I sort of like spat a bit out of my mouth because my teeth didn't control my saliva anymore.
Mate, you like the fucking Grinch, mate. The teeth.
He literally went like that, like he was shocked. So I thought, fuck, they must look really bad. And then when I got in the car, I was like, I've got to look at them. And I looked in the mirror and I was like, I literally look like the crackiest person I've ever seen. And the guy must have just been like, cracky guy just stole a McLaren. And then Vicky called me and I was trying to speak to her, but because I didn't have teeth or didn't have like a full set of teeth, as I was speaking, I was going,
You just thought
you laughed at me. So I don't tell that story because it's worth it.
It's very funny.
It's the only good thing that came from having that car.
Chuck LeCluck, lap 30.
Chuck LeCluck.
The overtake on Sergio Perez at lap 30 was inspired. What an overtake.
Unbelievable. Like, just put on the brakes so late, didn't it? I thought he was going to knock him off. It was a great move.
Brundle.
Was that when they did that little exchange, or was that later on?
No, that was Max and him later on.
That was Max and
I'm sorry, yeah.
He just didn't have
the
the Red Bull on the straight. Did you hear LeCluck on the radio? He just said they're just the Red Bull's just so quick on the straight.
$1.4 million faster than every car.
It's just annoying, isn't it?
Mate, that's a lot of lobster.
Yeah. I did feel for Lewis though. Fuck me. I
think he did fucking amazing.
No, he done
today.
amazing, but mate, you knew 10 laps to go, he was gaining a second a lap or whatever, Verstappen. You just knew he was going to do him with 3 laps to go.
Well, they wouldn't have even been in that position if it wasn't for the next part on my race thing of the Red Bull pit stop. 11.1 seconds. Max Verstappen and normally
the front wheel
2.5. The crowd went fucking wild.
Hold on a minute, Ben. Let me just check. That's 4 times what it should be.
Yeah.
4 times.
Yeah, and he still won.
Max goes,
yeah, no, you
beautiful,
can't
fucking beautiful.
You can't stop that
You
kid
can't
running,
do anything
winning,
to make him not win. You could take the wheels off his car.
The 11.1 seconds was basically our idea from a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Like what happened. He would have had to get out and do the press ups and still won.
Exactly that.
It's embarrassing for who comes second.
That's why we need really Hamilton and some upgrades on the Ferraris and that for next season.
They need to spend some money, don't they? They need to put some food budget
They need
into
some
the car
catering.
budget.
They need some serious catering and some fucking salmon.
Or just cut back on the catering so everyone's just eating Rivita.
Yeah.
Everyone's on Rivita, but the cars are
Or like
brilliant.
rusks or rich tea or something.
Rusks.
They've got all the vitamins and minerals you need.
Yeah, imagine Max. You know, I had a rusk before the race. It was pretty good.
So skinny.
Like Yorkie bar falling out of his pocket. I paid for that myself.
It's got receipts.
You can't expense
I'll
it.
tell you what else is what I've noticed as well, right? You know, when they interview Max, they go, you know, you could win the constructors here tomorrow. He goes, it's not a case of winning, it's just a matter of time and all that. And then when he's in the race, he's fuming because he goes, it's like you do want to win it. Don't sit there and lie and say it's not about you want to win it this week or next week. You want to win it every week.
I think he wants to. I don't think
when
he
won it
cares,
this week, Christian did that thing he did last season. He did his own catchphrase. Did you hear that? No. Because you said that Verstappen got the championship last week.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
But then this week, when he got first,
he said he gave
Horner went, Max Verstappen, you are the world champion, right? Which he said exactly the same way last season, like it was his new catchphrase he's going to do every year. It was almost like he just played it.
It's also the intro to Sky Sports F1 coverage.
Yes.
Is that Max Verstappen.
So, surely he knows that. He must watch Sky Sports sometimes.
I bet Jerry's gone to him. Do you know what? You should say that again because it sounds.
Imagine he's got a pre-record on his phone. He just goes,
Max
Verstappen.
I've got a Jerry thing I noticed. my ever-growing crush on Jerry, which Vicky is now fully accepted, to the point where
jealous still, no?
Bradley. Check this out, right? So I don't think I've ever said I've got a crush on someone to Vicky in my life, right? Said about the Jerry Horner thing, then that the cat's out the bag, right? Now Bradley Cooper is making a film in Ely, right, where I live, literally at the top of my road. Right, so you go up my road, you got the cathedral, and they had all the cars removed, all these old vintage 1970s cars there. They're making a film. And then Vicky goes, oh, like, if I had met Bradley Cooper, I could have One Night of Passion as, like, a deal. So
She's already met him.
So she was playing like the geography card, like he's in the area. So she
Yeah.
was thinking a little bit more strategically than just like, oh, like I'll go and sit with, I don't know, Tom
Yeah, but Brad,
Cruise or
I think you
whatever.
should let it go on
He's
and
going
you
to.
go and watch and see how she gets on, like sort of chatting him up, see what the vibe is.
Well, I said if you're going to do that, I'm going to pick someone I know. So like someone who I think I've actually got a shot with.
Someone from Fort Bay.
I'll just
it's you.
I'll just pick someone on Facebook who I think I've probably got
Get
a
the
chance
yearbook
with.
out, yeah.
Not the yearbook. Scrolling through. What do they look like now? But anyway, so Jerry, I like a confident, assertive woman, and watching her boss Ed Sheeran and Christian Horner around for a photo was pretty funny.
Yeah. Fair.
Did you see it?
No.
They were having a photo taken. She was just like, "You stand there, you stand there," and she was like shouting at the photographer.
Well,
I was into it.
To Ed Sheeran, like Jerry must be a bit of an idol to him. Like she was like the prof, like she's a ginger and she's a famous pop star. She's probably got like he looked up to her.
A trailblazer. It was just Mick Hucknall before us.
Yeah, and he's fucking horrible looking.
Did you see him interview? Did you see him
Cilla
interview?
Black and Mick Hucknall.
Going back to Brundle real quick.
It got famous when it was black and white TV, so no one knew. Yeah. And then colour TVs come on. They went, get out of our thing and go on the telly. All you can do is blind date now.
Guys, just going back to Brundle real quick. Did you see him interview the drummer from Green Day as well? And then he like went, "So who you backing today?" He goes, "Well, Aston Martin because it's green and we're Green Day."
Oh,
He's like,
mate,
that's what he said.
Trey Cole is probably the dumbest bloke in the world.
He goes,
He's
"They're
just
green
got
and
no
we're
personality.
green."
Boy, let me just cue Ben to tell a story about when he toured with Green Day
Go on,
or
then.
someone else.
I'm not going to
It's
tell
actually
it.
true.
Come on, Ben.
It's actually true.
You were gonna name drop a story.
Mate, why
of when
don't you ever
did
try
that.
and promote any of your music on it? Like you're in a band, I'll say it. He goes, "Nah,
Because this
this
is a Formula One podcast.
I know, but
boy.
like
This is
people
not
might
a
then,
listen
people
to
then might
punk
go,
rock
"What's his
podcast.
band?" I might try and listen to it.
I don't want him to.
Why?
Because then that would be taken away from Free Pre. And they might prefer my band to listening to me talk.
Well, no, I'll just go. I might listen to a Formula
metal?
One podcast, or actually, I'm going to listen to some Eat Dirt.
Yeah, some
Oh,
heavy
you said it.
metal.
Yes.
Eat
It's out
Dirt.
there.
People look it up. Eat Dirt. Ben's the guy with the beard.
Your songs are only like 30 seconds long. Like, listen to your entire back catalogue while we were just talking about your band.
Yeah. Well, anyway, Max and LeCluck, or Chuck LeCluck, Max versus
Chuck
Chuck
LeCluck.
LeCluck. They had a really great battle as well. I think that was around lap 36. The Americans really hate Max. Like every time he got overtaken, and there was like 4 or 5 overtakes there. They went, "Hey!" And then every time he got in front, they went boo.
M-Stap.
What I don't get though is
Chuck LeCluck and M-Stap.
you know when they went in.
Good,
You know
I
when
like
they went in and changed their tyres. Max and Leclerc both went on the mediums, right? And they were both having their little battle. But then suddenly, Max just absolutely just rocketed away from him. It was just like, and he was just gone. He was out of sight. I don't know what happened.
Clean air, mate. Clean air.
Clean air, dirty air. Whatever it is.
And then another terrible pit stop for Vettel. He was on track for a podium, right? And then he got fucked.
Yeah.
But I
Must
think
be quite sad for him now. And every race it finishes, he's like, "I'm never going to race that ever again."
Mate, he doesn't give a shit.
Do you not think?
he seemed really happy.
Do you really
though.
think for a second he even cares? If I was at that stage of my career, I would just see a podium as a burden. It means I've got to work longer. Like when I finish, I can either walk off and do whatever I want, or I've got to go and stand around and spray champagne in my eye. I'd be like, actually, I'll come fourth.
Yeah, I was giving the fourth.
Letting Latifi fly by into third. Go on, you have your moment. You've only got a
He'd
couple of
fuck it
races
up.
left.
The TV
Yeah.
guy just got crash into a wall.
Ball of flames. car turned on me again.
Crossing the line and a ball of flames. It's Nicholas Latifi.
Did you see Leclerc got a little stat though, Ben? You've probably got it on there. Five podiums in a row.
What missed that? Who did? Yeah, because he got.
Leclerc's never done 5 podiums in a row. It's a
he
new
did.
little stat for him.
That's good for him. So Vettel's pit stop. I've got a little, you know, my Lance Stroll impression is very good. I've got a little quote for you. I blame Lance Stroll for Vettel's pit stop. If my boy ain't in the points, Sebastian's not in the points. Capiche? That's what he said.
Capiche.
He said capiche.
Yes.
Wow.
Capiche. I reckon he's properly went, well, if Lance is out, then fuck that up for Vettel. He's not getting points. But Vettel fought back.
Yeah, I reckon Lawrence Stroll has, like, you know, like you were saying about the capiche thing. I reckon in business he has like a skinny guy that stands behind him and goes, "That's right, boss." Like always, like
You don't talk to my boss like that.
Yeah, you better watch out.
You don't
Just
select off
repeat
the green
what
car.
you
It looks
said.
nice. We like the colour of the car, you
Little
know.
hype man.
man, yeah. Capiche, yeah.
Yeah.
Capiche, yeah.
I want the catering.
You tell him, Larry.
Get back the salmon rolls, capiche?
I could do that job.
Yeah.
Boys,
Max versus-
this news needs to wrap up. This is long. We've got a game.
This
now
is
to
not the
debate,
news. This is the race recap.
It's the
Right,
race, mate.
fine.
This is the podcast.
This is what we're talking. We need to get through
There's
this
only
bit.
a couple
of
more
While we're here
Yes.
then, Brad, feedback from Vicky. Did she like it when B Moore was back in the mix last week when I missed? the
Obviously,
week? What did
it
she
was
say?
better because it was 33.3% more people.
Woohoo!
It wasn't just me and Brad just repeating what
Well,
happened.
what we'll find out is I'm not going to be on the podcast next week unless we do it because I'm away. I'm going to Disney. Whoop, whoop.
you
Taking
can
a
still
mic.
do it from
Way.
Disney. Just take it.
Mate, I'm not going to do it from Disney. What do you want to do it
You
like
could
video?
come on in
I think
like a
that would
Mickey
be
Mouse outfit
actually.
or something, couldn't you?
Imagine doing it from the Magic Kingdom,
Yeah.
just in the middle when the fireworks are going
Yeah,
off.
you've got your little wand noise like the Princess Castle.
I'll tell you what, I'll take my portable mic thing,
Yeah.
and if we can tee it up and it's the time where I don't have to be up in the middle of the night, I'll do
Well, no,
it.
we'll do it
won't
after.
be-
We'll do it after the Mexican Grand Prix then, straight after the race. So it'll be about 10 o'clock for me and Boyd, but it'll be like 4
Well,
in
let's
the
see.
afternoon. But
Let's
yeah.
see what that is.
So Max versus Lewis was very fun. It was like last year. It was very good watching them race together. Vettel's comeback was good, I thought, and luckily he got to P7, I think, because of Alonso's 30-second penalty for having a broken car.
I'll tell you who else
and that was
drove
the
really
end of the
well.
race.
I'll tell you who else drove very well. I actually slagged him off a bit before when he's had a bit of a mare this week, but then
We
he
didn't know
thundered
we
back.
would never slag someone off.
No, Lando Norris. He actually he pumped through. Like he was on that first corner. He kept whipping round quite a few
He
people.
had a good
didn't he?
race. I still think he's a bit of a sniad because like him and Danny Rick have obviously still got to fulfil their press duties
Danny
as
Rick.
McLaren as like teammates, and obviously Lando loves golf, doesn't he? He's like pretty much a pro,
Yeah.
and Danny Rick.
Pretty much a pro.
He's pretty much a
Do you
pro.
know the amount of people, right? I think I might have said this on another podcast. The amount of people who send me job applications, right, and in their hobbies, it's like, I play football at a semi-professional level. It's like, okay, so you're not professional then.
Amateur,
Yeah, just the
But
word
he's
semi is
actually
pointless,
is-
isn't it?
Yeah,
he's-
and it's like, and also I'm a golf pro. It's always like I'm a golf pro semi-professional. It's like if you're going to put something on your CV, don't put something on your CV that you're not that good at.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm nearly really good at this. It's like you're either really good at it or you're
I'm
not.
semi-pro
Lando Norris
driving.
is really good at it.
I'm
He's
semi-pro
really good
driving
at
my Mini
golf.
Cooper.
He's
I'm
really good.
semi-pro at
Anyway,
shopping.
they had to do this thing when they played golf, and Danny
Yeah, well,
Rick
they
was
hit
wearing
the
cowboy
thing.
boots, and he was being a dick, and he was just mucking about. But Lando was
they
just
don't-
giving him proper shit, like dirty looks for the whole thing. Like he was like, "Should I do it like this, mate?" And he's going, "Yeah, if you want to get it wrong." He was just being like a bit
Yeah,
of
but he's
a.
only
But
20, he's only 22.
I
isn't
reckon
he?
behind the scenes, Daniel Ricciardo would get right on my nerves.
Yeah, of course. He
Just
would.
like,
So
do you know when
positive.
someone, you know, like I won't say who he is, Ben, because he might listen to podcasts. But do you remember that person who was too nice?
Yeah.
And you kept going to me. Can we go for a walk and be mean because that person's too nice? Right. I reckon Danny Rick's a bit like that. Where you're like, all right, yeah, you're a bit funny. Fucking hell.
Get it? You can tell
And
jokes.
so-
You're wacky.
yeah, you're wacky and you got a funny walk, and so you'd constantly want to go. I just want to put this guy down a little bit because he is
I
annoying.
think
Did you see as well, he
okay.
always-
All right,
when-
I see that. I see your point.
When
of view
people are getting interviewed as well, he always comes up behind them and goes, "Huh, huh, huh," like this.
Yeah,
Just like,
you're
mate,
orange
I'm
distraction.
trying to like
You're
do a
orange
serious
distraction.
interview here. Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Okay. All right then. Okay, so we're on Lando's side now. Thank you. I
Lando
love
wins.
Lewis Hamilton's camo trucker hat, the AMG one. So much so, I brought one.
Yeah.
I was sick. I
You bought one?
I brought one.
Are you wearing it now?
No, it's not come yet. I only ordered it yesterday, mate. The race was yesterday. I saw it yesterday.
Clearly, he's not
yesterday.
wearing it, Brad. He's not got fucking.
Mate, it was a camouflage joke, Boyd.
Oh shit! I've missed the boat there. To be fair, the highlight for me was you when you looked like fucking thing from Talladega Nights, mate.
Oh, God, yeah, the jacket there was very good.
Ricky Bobby,
Did anyone
mate.
see the person?
Ben the Pillsbury Doughboy.
Mate, you like this? You look like you put on about 10 stone. You went.
NASCAR
Why have you
Ben.
inflated?
And I forgot the last thing I saw of the race that made me laugh so much was the person doing the checkered flag. Just did you not see him? They just look it looked like Ellen DeGeneres, but a really miserable old woman version of her going.
Oh, mate, did you see the basketball player in the car at the end, LeShaq, whatever his name is?
LeShaq, mate. You don't look.
Shaq LeShaq.
You just called LeShaq. You don't know who Shaq O'Neal
I
is.
forgot his name.
LeShaq, you know LeShaq. You mean LeCluck and LeShaq.
Shaq LeShaq. What?
LeShaq.
As in Shaquille O'Neal.
Shaquille, that's it. I was calling him.
The most famous. What? The second most famous.
Yes, I just forgot his
basketball
name.
player
Right? I
of
don't
all
like
time.
basketball, but I knew who. I just forgot his name. Because LeShaq.
Shaq LeShaq. Shaq.
Anyway,
LeShaq.
him sitting in that stupid massive car,
Yeah, it was
all on
pretty
the front. He looked like a
fucking
rugby
He's
melt.
pretty massive.
He looked like a low
He's
ender,
pretty
mate.
massive.
He's a twat.
Someone
LeShaq.
photoshopped. So, because he handed over the trophy, didn't he? Someone photoshopped a picture. Photoshopped a picture of LeShaq. They got LeShaq and they made him a lot bigger, and they made all the free drivers really small, so it looks massive.
But mate, he was sitting there with like that trophy, all like cool.
like
He was like he was in some
holding
hot
a
tub or
pint.
something, and like no one was even looking at him. It's like they're doing the interviews of the drivers, the podium. No one cares about you, Shaq, man.
LeShaq man. LeShaq man.
LeShaq.
Shaq LeShaq.
George, and also George Russell, when he gives an interview, it always looks like he's about to cry or he's been crying.
Yeah,
Have you
he
noticed?
does.
It
Yeah.
always looks like he's about to cry or he's been crying.
Yeah. Well, when he
and
did
then-
score that point,
So he has that thing about him, you know, like if you ran from somewhere and you didn't know where you were running to, like if you were running away from an accident and you were trying to find help, and you kind of go,
yeah, looks a bit
like
startled.
he stands,
doesn't he?
yeah, like I don't know if I've got to run over there, and he always just looks a bit like I don't know where to look.
Yeah, agreed.
That's right. And then I was going to do a funny impression of Nicholas Latifi, but I just can't
Go on,
bother.
try it.
No,
Mate, he before in the little pre
I just
thing,
asked him to set me up.
Ben was trying to get me to say he was going to do a joke, and then I had to do a bit so he could like jump in and do his bit afterwards.
What, like
And
a
I've been
rigged up joke?
Yeah, it was a rigged up
was a
joke.
rigged
And
up-
then
he was just gonna
as
set
we would
it-
get bench, as we were getting to this point of the thing, I couldn't remember how he wanted me to do it, and so I'm glad.
we can skip it.
How did you find that, Nicholas? That was it. That's what we'd say.
It was hard. It was hard. It's always hard. The car really mean to me.
And don't say the Ninja Turtle thing again because you would have done that one.
Scripted shit.
No, I just don't know why they bother asking Nicholas Latifi how his race went, because he doesn't know how the race went. He blames the car for he goes, well, the car is really hard to drive. No, you can't drive the car. It's just different.
He get dumped
Anyway.
by his bird and blames the car.
The race? And who won the race?
Max Verstappen.
Of course he did. Right, on to our
Best.
next feature, which I can't remember which button to press to get the theme music. Hold on.
Welcome. to
No,
Brad's
wrong one.
Game.
What fucking hell was that? That was
What was that?
That was Kevin Keegan
Keegan
backwards from the other
Newcastle in
week.
here tonight a little bit. Welcome to Brad's Game. Sorry, I've just done it for you.
You prick. You did
Go
it
on,
for
just
me.
do it
Right.
yourself.
Okay. No, you've done it. It's
No,
cool.
you've got to do it.
So, by popular demand, from at least one person said they enjoyed this,
Me.
so it's definitely the most popular game, we did Christian Horner's house, and this week we will be visiting Toto Wolff's house.
Wow.
Now, I need to tee this up. I will do this in story form as we go through because I know you enjoyed it. I could only find one picture of his house.
There's a whole
So-
episode of Drive to Survive that is in his house.
Oh, okay, well, I literally found one
he's not.
picture
He's
of
at
him
the
in his
table.
house.
Just base it on the
breakfast
picture. It's
with
more
his
fun that way.
So this entire thing is based on
Fabrication.
one photo. No, it's all real, but it's one photo.
Is it called Photo or Toto?
Toto's photo? It'll be.
Toto shop.
Okay, so we've been invited around Toto Wolff's house, and he's very keen to show off his collection of cars. So as we walk into the garage, he has a wide selection of cars of primarily Mercedes. Now, he has one which is his favourite. Now, is it a 300 SL Gullwing? I've forgotten to do the other Mercedes, so I'm just going to go with... No, sorry, no, I've got that, which includes a 300 SL Gullwing, which is worth about 7 million, give or take. It's a lot of money. Now, he has loads of cars. They are all Mercedes except for one car, which is not Mercedes. Is it? And remember, you have to say your name.
Right.
Yeah, well, you do the shouting your name thing because that worked quite well. Is it a vintage Fiat 500? Is it a Ferrari Enzo? Or is it a Bugatti Veyron?
Ben.
Boyd.
Ferrari.
Ben, you are wrong. So Boyd has the floor.
I'm going to go Fiat 500.
Boyd, you are wrong. It goes back to Ben.
Bugatti Veyron.
Fuck's sake.
Points to Ben. 20 points for
right.
Zane?
I thought it was the Ferrari, to be honest. But
Okay, so that's what we know about his cars. Anyway, so now he's invited us into his living room for coffee, and that's where this entire thing takes place because I only have one photo. Now, Toto likes to relax, and he has his favourite chair.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Is his chair a recliner, a chair with a footstool, or a rocking chair?
Boyd, I think he's a footstool kind of geezer.
Okay. You are right.
yeah,
Well done,
I
boys.
was
He
going
has
to
a
say,
footstool.
rocking chair. I thought he'd think, I'm just sit here in my rocking chair and think about
I can imagine him
what's
just...
your choice? I'm very
20
sorry for the way
points.
my country behaved during the war.
I bet he leaves as well, Ben. He leaves one foot on the floor, one leg up on the little...
Oh,
I'm going to
yeah.
warn you guys, because it's been so close, there is no bonus points this week, so you actually have to win
I'm ahead,
this to win
though.
it.
I'm ahead on games.
Yeah.
I know, but all I'm saying is there'll be no saving grace bonus points.
Is there going to be a games
Anyway, so
point at some point?
So we all know that Toto, he looks good for his age, and he does that by having lots of mirrors in his house. Now, the mirror in his front room, which matches the chair with the footstool, it has a frame around it. Is it gold leaf, Regent's, regal mahogany, or faux industrial?
Ben,
Ben was first.
I want to say industrial, but I'm going to say gold leaf.
You are incorrect. Over to Boyd.
Second one. Nick Inc.
A little bit of product placement. For,
Wanked in. Previously wanked in mirror.
Regal mahogany.
Yeah, I've got mahogany.
It is Regal mahogany. Yeah, Boyd, you've got more points. So you're on 40 points now to Ben's 20, I believe.
20.
Now, as Toto likes to relax in his chair,
It's a lot of pace to have relaxing in his chair.
yeah, because the picture is him sitting in a chair. That's what I've got. He needs cushions because every chair needs cushions.
No, they don't.
Now, do you imagine Toto Wolff to have which of these three types
He's got
of cushions?
furry sort of ones. Like.
Boyd, I'll do the game and do the answers, right? Are they tweed with pictures of British woodland creatures? Now, bearing in mind, this is his Oxford house, not his...
And his wife is Scottish.
Yeah, and it's not his Monaco house, this is his Oxford house.
Do you reckon he's got a house in
So is it
Dusseldorf?
tweed with pictures of British woodland creatures, just plain old grey, or leather with tassels?
Boyd. The
Boyd.
first one.
Tweed with pictures of British woodland creatures? You are incorrect. They're the cushions I've got in my
I know
house.
that. That's right. I knew that. I'm going to say plain grey. Mercedes
They
grey.
are plain grey. You're right,
Yes!
Ben. So that is
40.
40 points each. Now, it all comes down to this last question.
I need this to level it out. 5-5.
Now, no front room would be complete without a carpet. Do you imagine when Toto kicks off his slippers in the evening? Does he kick his slippers off onto a Persian rug with tassels, a shag pile, or animal hide?
I'm not sure. What would I sit on?
That feels nice on my feet. I feel like I want to get in there in case just before Ben.
It's a Persian rug with tassels. Imagine the room we've seen so far. We've got a mahogany mirror. We've got a chair with a stool. We've got plain
pillows.
grey cushions. So we're kind of going for it's kind of a neutral themed room. So do you add a Persian rug, which will have lots of detail on it, or do you have more of a shag pile, or do you just go straight in with the animal hide?
The murder blanket.
Kind of want
The
Ben to go
murder
first. So he,
blanket.
like gives me a better chance.
I don't know the answer.
Well, this is
But I'm
part of
going
the
to
game.
lay
You
it out there
guess.
because I'm ahead. I can risk this.
No,
I'm
we're
going for an
even, 4-4.
undercut here. I'm going to
4-4.
go.
Well, I'm going to let you both get. You answer first, Boyd, and then Ben can answer, and then I'll declare who is.
No,
the
that's
winner
not how
this
it
week.
works.
I will
No,
go
'cause it's the final
with.
one.
Ben, animal hide.
Wow. I'll go
Boyd.
Persian rug then.
Sure, neither of you want to change your answer.
Mate, we've both not got. It's the last one.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't
All
matter.
right, the
It's just
last
that-
one.
That's what I said.
No, you didn't. You said the middle one.
Animal hide, I said. The last one.
No, that was number 2, wasn't it?
No.
Don't lie.
This is the best bit of the game.
It's just
It all
Boyd's
falls
confusion.
apart. What did you say, Boyd?
I've said the last one for the third.
That's
the
what I
third.
said, the last one.
Okay.
Animal hide.
No. Ben wins with animal hide. He said animal hide first. I checked earlier.
Yes, 5-all. 5-all.
Toto's house. Imagine that house.
Wow.
All the money. And tell you what I did notice about it, it had a lot of stuff in it. Like you got that much money, you can't stop buying stuff. It was cluttered. It was cluttered with expensive things.
Doesn't sound like my taste, to be fair. I'd rather just stick with my IKEA shit, if I'm honest. Basic, innit?
Yeah. You would, though, wouldn't you?
Boyd's house.
Yeah, Toto just pushing a trolley around IKEA,
Billy,
trying to go
get his
find a
Billy
six. Get his Benno's,
Yes,
Billy's
let's
and his
get the
Benno's.
palm. Yeah, let's get the what they all called like weird names. The Milan. Let's get the Milan.
Oh, the Malmo. The Malmo.
I'll build
The
it.
Malmo is my favourite bed.
I'll build it in the pit lane while Lewis is driving around. You know, it's not a problem. Flat pack.
So that was a great game, and you guys are even now. So let's move on to our final feature of the week, which is the great debate. And obviously, it's a little bit topical, where we will be talking about what we think the punishments would be for people overspending. I don't necessarily think there's a winner of this. I think we just talk about what.
I've not really had any.
It's not really a debate, is it?
No, it's just us.
Can I start by saying my one?
It's not a debate, but I'll go first.
So I reckon for every pound they overspend,
You're going to have points deduction, is what I was going to say.
no, right?
because he's going to go with a fun one.
Whoever's losing, right? So Latifi, right, is the worst. Is the worst like
Yeah,
the
he's- he's got-
So whoever's the last driver, for every pound that the winning team overspends, the loser gets £1,000 worth of things from the team principal's house. Right, so Latifi goes round Horner's house, and it's like supermarket
That's
sweep.
£1 billion.
And he can take what he
It's
wants.
£1 billion.
He's taking Grammys off the wall from Jerry. He's driving away down the road in Christian Horner's Aston Martin. And like, imagine if it got well personal, they wouldn't overspend, because overspending by £1 would be Latifi turns up and just takes
£1,000
£1,000 worth of kit out of your house. And they film it as
Nicholas
well.
is coming over.
And it's timed, so it's like supermarket sweep.
I reckon, because
You just
obviously
gotta
he's
go
not
around
going to
and
be
quickly
there
get
next
stuff.
season, Nicholas Latifi. I reckon it's Nicholas
Yeah.
Latifi, whatever. It's just like,
Yeah, that's his job next year, is to go around and he just sticks the stuff on eBay and he gets to keep it.
okay.
Mine was pretty shit. Mine was basically for every $100,000 overspent, they take 10 points off of the constructors plus the drivers.
So you didn't go with comedy then, Boyd? You just went with
I went.
like-
See, I was walking back from the. I'll be honest, I was walking back from getting my MOT, so yeah, I just didn't really have a lot of thought into that one. You sort of go, that's my one, I'm in, I'm locking in in case someone else nicks it. But no, that would still work. If they spent like a fucking shitload of cash, that's quite a lot of points off, isn't it?
Yeah, but that's like
That's 100 points off max.
Yeah, I guess so. That would
And the
work.
constructors, then everyone's back in the mix.
My idea.
But like just fines, like
Yeah,
which
it's
it
just-
sounds like
yeah.
what they've done is mental. Like when I lived in Dubai, right, you didn't get speeding points. If you did it, you had to be going fucking fast to get points, right? You had to be going like lunacy speed to get points. If you just got caught speeding, you got a fine, right? And the fine was maybe like 200 dirhams from memory, which I think is, I don't know, like 40 quid. Bearing in mind, if you live in Dubai and you're driving a Bugatti Veyron, do you think you give the slightest shit about a 40 quid fine? So it was if you were rich enough, you could just go around speeding.
Break the laws.
So I think the same. Yeah, you should just drive as much as you
Robo
want.
cop, mate, innit? I am the law. Just do what you want. Latifi
So-
be getting
I
tickets
think
all the time.
That's Judge Dredd.
Is it? Oh yeah, it is. All right, correction section.
Wrong.
LeShaq.
I don't know.
That's the
you.
highlight for you two, isn't it? LeShaq.
Shaq LeShaq.
Shaq LeShaq. And he's fucked.
Mine was like for every 100 grand they go over, they hide something from your garage, and you've got to find out what's been hidden, then replace it. But you just take bits out, and you slowly. It's
What, to the value that they overspend?
Yeah.
Who chooses what they hide?
Latifi.
What, so if it's a
Yeah, I don't think he'd be strategic
Yeah,
enough.
yeah,
Though. Like,
I
if,
think-
if Toto went into Red Bull's garage, he'd hide power units. Latifi would just like hide chairs and people's
TV would
coats.
just put a cloth over
Which
the
would
whole
be
car and go, try and find that one.
putting
They'll
stuff
never
back.
find it. Yeah. Massive front wing, put a fucking towel over it. He ain't going to find that, mate. Don't worry about that.
What I would do is it would be tools. I'd just be like,
You have to
take
hide
tools
hide the
straight
pick
away.
guns, wouldn't you? You'd hide the fucking
Yeah.
guns for the
No,
pit stop.
what I would do is I would reverse them, so like the on and off is
Loosen the wheels.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but glue the wheel nuts and stuff.
Would you
So,
let him put a corn on the
gonna-
cob on the gun, and you put it in your mouth and let him press
No,
it?
so I was listening to
Shred
the
the
fact
fucking corn on the
that you
cob.
could break those things if you're not holding that thing right, it'll break your wrist.
Yeah, I know,
It's like
it's
a
like-
swan.
Imagine Garth from Wayne's World did it.
Yeah.
Come in, you got Wayne's fucking Garth in him there. Oh.
Only that's not Wayne's basement. Isn't that weird?
You're not Cantonese. I was born in Cantonese. Say Pepsi Cola. Like, fucking-
There you have it.
Yeah.
There you have it.
yeah. Want some Chinese?
Well,
Rob
yeah,
Lowe in
so
the pit
there,
lane.
there you go. Not some, I just think, in reality, I just think just lose the price cap. I just let him go fucking hog wild again.
I thought this about steroids in cycling. I just thought they should have a separate cycling league, which is like no rules, like MMA, and you just go, you can just get roided up as much as you want, like, and there's just these jacked guys just going up mountains so fast.
Super F1.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just
Just
go. You can do what you
electric
want.
bike.
You can spend as much money as you want.
No.
Jet engines, just like blasting off.
He's flying. He's literally flying around. It's just like the wheel just like slightly touching the ground to make it legal.
What was that? There was a game. It was on the PlayStation where you had to like. It was like a racing car game, but you used to be able to like shoot other people and
No,
stuff.
you used to put hover off the. It's something Zero. It's called. You used to like float off the ground. Do you remember?
Wipeout.
Yeah, Wipeout.
You're thinking of
You're thinking
Wipeout.
of Wipeout.
I mean, lots of 1990s and 80s references in today's podcast.
By the way,
well-
we haven't really carried on with our F1 PlayStation challenge, have we?
No, with James, me and James have.
To be honest, I actually packed my little setup away yesterday.
Oh.
It was getting in my way, and I was like, I don't
Season's
think I'm
over.
going to use this again.
Yeah.
Yeah, I folded
Me and
it
James
away.
still play.
Fine.
But I've been playing
Don't
Gran
like
Turismo.
it.
Couple of nerds. Couple of nerds.
Couple of nerds. Well, still going to be better than Nicholas Latifi if I carry on playing this much. So,
Pretty much.
pretty much. Well,
So that was another episode.
another
So
episode.
next week I may be here, I may not be.
It's the Mexican
I
Grand
did
Prix.
originally say about my brother replacing me, but because we bullied him on
He
the
won't do it
podcast,
now.
he got all
Well,
narky
he-
and was
he
like, I'm not
binned it
doing
off.
it. He wouldn't do it because we said he was trying to get on our podcast, and because we said that, he's like, I'm actually not doing
He
it.
texted me.
So
He texted me the other day, and I forgot to reply. And then he sent another message to me and put Boyd's replies. I was like, mate, you never reply to anything coming from you, James. But like, it was only a photo. He
So-
didn't even need a reply, but I did apologise to him. So
Who can replace me next week then?
I
if,
think you could
I'm not
probably do
here?
it because it's your favourite. It's our favourite racer's home Grand Prix.
But I probably won't watch a Grand Prix.
Checo.
Checo. You could
This
go
is
watch
us,
it.
guys. Come on. This is us.
This is us.
Well, what do we
I'll
do?
me and Boyd can just do it.
What is the date for it? I know
Next
we were doing
Sunday.
podcast planning before we did.
When are you going away? Let's sort
It's
this
the
out now.
30th.
Oh, I can't do 30th. Absolutely no way.
Why?
Why?
Because I'm going to Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. I'm building a droid. And I'll probably be crying because I actually reckon I'm going to cry when I see a full-size Millennium Falcon.
Okay.
Wow.
So
All right, then.
I won't be on the
Me
podcast
and
next
Boyd
week.
will
Sorry,
do it.
guys.
We'll try and find someone. I'll find someone.
Yeah,
that
get
has
someone who will
Oh,
be really
actually, you know what?
uncomfortable
My
doing
mate
it.
What about Joe?
Andy's dad used to be pit crew for Benetton.
There you go. Get him
All
on.
right, well, you Jay from the in-between.
Thank you for everyone tuning in. We're just about to. We've only got 1 minute 50 left. So this is the point where we say, get your finger out, press the 5-star button.
Yep.
Keep pressing it until it confirms that you've given it 5 stars.
Like you're playing track and field,
Then
yeah.
Take that finger and then put it back
And
in your
leave a
pocket.
review, like Ben says. Leave a
Yeah,
review.
and if it's under 5, tell us why. But he's probably
Leave a
not
review,
because it's
yeah,
in
look,
fight.
if we don't only get dodgy criticism, we can't improve, can we? So let's go.
Can you improve on perfection? Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Everybody has a target on their backs next year.